And Sylvia wasn't on the plane with us, because at the time she lived in New Jersey. And so she was in a store buying shoes for the show when it came on the radio. But she didn't hear it. One of the salesmen heard it and said, "Don't you work with Elvis Presley?" And she said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, you know, he just died." And she said, "Don't be playing." She was telling me, relaying the story to me. She said, I told him, "Don't you play with me like that," you know? She didn't believe it. And I got over the shock of it. But when I think about it, it's still like unreal. Because, you know, you don't expect people to. He was like, I know he was larger than life, but I'd seen Elvis sick so many times before. You know, I'd been to the hospital, visited him, you know, in the hospital, and I'd seen him overweight before, and most of the time when he started to work, he'd lose the weight. And just to think about him not being around, you know. There were some people that acted very insensitively to Elvis's death. I heard one comment. I mean, they were calling, some of his really good friends were saying, "That bastard had to go and die," you know? I guess they were in shock too, but I heard some very harsh things from some people that had been around Elvis, and you would think that they cared very much for him, you know, but he was a meal ticket to a lot of people, and that's all. And that's very unfortunate.
What did I learn from Elvis? What did I learn from Elvis? That everybody can get together, you know, because even out of all the people we worked with Elvis, the whole group, we all became like a family. And there was no bickering, no fight. It doesn't have to be that way.
One thing I really am glad I learned from him is no matter how afraid you are before you walk on that stage, once you get out there, you're there to entertain and for people to enjoy you, because he was as nervous as I am before I go on. You know, he'd be just shaking like that. But as soon as he walked on that stage, there was, I mean, and saw those flashes, I mean, even if it was a place where you couldn't use flashes, and saw the audience expecting from him, then he gave, you know.